I don't know what episode we're on for the videos we're posting, because you know my counting is
No one cares.
yeah, no one really cares about counting anymore. So
The Flash.
today we usually rant on aimlessly and going into different side rants that have its own plots and plot devices.
But the
and
rage
side
is
rants.
real right now.
But yes, today we have some issues because as much as I love the series of Flash, there are 8 questions that I have that don't seem to quite add up in terms of the series. Well, not 8, more like 7. One of them is, if you see the video that I posted last time with my boy Marlon here,
Word.
we actually was right about the theory that DeVoe, his powers were compatible with the body of that black guy that she's now currently dating. And yeah, in the episode it's very clear that she's not
She doesn't like, yeah, exactly.
she's not really into
She's
you know
interracial.
brown skin guys. You
And
know?
I think it's gonna bite them in the ass because
yeah,
she does not want that dude.
I feel like she slipped up, but like I said, we'll get into it.
Word.
And like of course I'm gonna say it early, and I'm gonna say it in the end of the video as well.
Spoiler.
Please, well that as well. Spoilers, just in case you haven't seen it, because this is being dropped on the 17th, obviously. So if you're watching this, spoilers. And of course, if you like everything that we're saying or the questions that we're asking, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, communicate with us in the comments. You know, this is a relationship. You're now dating us, so
Word.
we are now one. We're like brothers, but closer. So let's get on with it. First of all, the first issue I have, well, I won't say question statements, whatever you want to call it. During the trial of Barry Allen, he definitely could have had Wally come in and kind of make an excuse as the Flash to kind of say like, oh, he's been helping me catch metahumans, because during the trial, as you will see on the screen, you'll see that they were asking him like, oh, why have you been late 72 times? And you know, why have you been, missing out on certain things? Why did you go on that sabbatical for so long? Could have just been simply saying, hey, I was helping a superhero catch metahumans. Very valid reason in a city full of metahumans. That's number one. They're not utilizing their resources.
But even if they did say that, like, if they look at video evidence, they're gonna see Barry Allen just like fucking zipping around, and so they're gonna be like, what the hell's going on right here?
See,
give him away.
I know somebody's gonna make that argument, and here's another thing. You have Cisco Ramon, one of the smartest engineers on the planet.
Apparently not smart enough, dude.
And I can't think of a way just to like, oh, like, let's just edit some footage. Not even plant evidence per se. You can just like edit the footage to make him, because even like I said, during the murder of DeVoe's body, he actually was at Star Labs.
Yeah, he was. They could have looked at the video evidence.
So I'm like, even if you didn't want people to find out he's a Flash, you definitely could have just simply edited and just been like, okay, he was there the whole time.
Yeah, slow that shit
Valid
down.
reason. Okay, cool.
I guess not.
Yeah, so that's plot hole number 1.
Word.
Out of the list of 7 so far. Number 2, this is the biggest one that got under my skin. Like this was this is what grinds my gears. So Iris was talking to DeVoe's wife in the hallway, right? Like I think during the trial, or was it right after?
Right after she got called out, that she's like talking to the other guy now.
Yeah, I think it was
the same dude, but
yeah, it was right after she got called to
the pictures to the juries and shit like that.
So Iris could have been wearing a recorder, or even used her cell phone and recorded DeVoe's wife saying that none of this was real. Like, and she gave herself away. Like that was the number one slip up out of the whole episode, and I thought that was the case. But Iris was not bright enough.
No, not at all.
And
not one bit. Team Flash.
0.
Team
DeVoe
ass.
15.
Or 15.
Like I guess DeVoe knew like they would be that stupid.
Yeah.
Cause
he predicted all that shit. He's smart.
He's 15 million steps ahead of you. Honestly, some of the things. That's another thing also. I'm just going to bring this to the front of the list. Now, if DeVoe is, like, oh, I know 15 steps ahead of you, he's not really thinking about other people who's not really in his immediate circle. Now, obviously, we know they share the same universe as Arrow. I'd be like, yo, Oliver, I need your help.
Yo.
But you didn't have to, like, bring him to Star Labs. You could have just had somebody else do it or sent a letter out. Like something that's a little inconspicuous, that's not really obvious. Something like that. We could have asked for some outside help where it kind of increases your chances of success. But instead, no, we're going to do this all by ourselves. And like yeah, always. He knows how we are. He had the camera in Star Labs. It didn't make any sense at all. So I'm like, he knows your patterns, your schedule. I'm like, that didn't make any sense. He could have just asked somebody else for some outside help. But, this whole toxic masculinity, as some people will call it in this new generation, they got to do everything by themselves and all that good stuff. So that's another issue I had. Now, this is, like I said, one of the bigger problems as well. So, obviously, we both can agree, me and Marlon and whoever's watching, that Barry Allen is a forensic scientist for Central City.
Exactly.
Why the hell would he leave fingerprints on a wedding gift that was given specifically to him and no one else, and only his DNA would be on it? Not even the person who sold Iris the wedding gift in the first place.
Yeah, no one questioned.
No one questioned that at all.
That.
Like, okay, it's a wedding gift. Iris held it. Barry held it. The person who sold it to Iris held it. The person who made it, his fingerprints is probably on there somewhere at some point. It's like, come on, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then, even if that was the case, if he really killed him, and like I said, working for the Central City Police Department as a forensic scientist, he could have easily wiped the prints or did whatever he needed to do to make it look like DeVoe broke into his house, self-defense. He could have did all that. But no one...
He just chose to stay.
He chose to stay, one. That was a big problem. And two, it's just like everyone just overlooked that. Like, he could have just easily covered it up. He definitely had the know-how and the knowledge. And little do they know the speed to do it. That would have been even worse. Like, if he moved the body and then they got there and there was nobody there,
they could be like,
then
what the heck
happened?
The hell's going on?
And then it would have just totally nullified the fact that someone called and filed a false report.
There was blood stain, but then he could just clean it.
He still could have cleaned it up super fast. I'm like,
that's right.
So I'm like, that was another hole. I'm like, if you didn't want to cover up the murder, that's cool. I just would have honestly took him out my apartment. I was about to say something else.
Yeah,
but, you know.
I mean, bro, you have super speed. Like, you think anyone can catch up to you? Oh, then again,
he was like, hold on, this is his logic.
Yeah.
No, I have to let the justice system work.
Get the fuck out of here. Fuck the justice system, bro. You kidding me, dude?
I guarantee you, he would have been saying something totally different. He was like 6 shades darker. He would have been like, yo, we need to cover this up ASAP. Like, I'm not going down for this. I guarantee you, it would have been a totally different.
Luke Cage went to jail.
That's a fact. Like,
he went to jail.
But he went to jail like to prove like, okay, yeah, I didn't do it, because I think eventually evidence surfaced that he didn't do it. So he went to jail just for the fact that he escaped jail, not for the crime. So it was a different situation. Barry could have just totally got away with it and still figured out and beat him, and then you could have did what you were supposed to do. But no, the justice system will prevail, and they found you guilty.
Yep.
But like I said,
and life in jail.
Oh, but we digress.
Anyways, moving on.
They still didn't figure out who the hell even called the cops. It just so happened someone calls the cops right when he arrived there at super speed, and like physically after that whole phone call. Oh, they're busting through my door as I answered the phone.
Remember, like even in the earlier episodes, people in cars are literally outrunning the Flash. How do you outrun the fastest man alive? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, we're going to have a whole episode on the inconsistencies of the Flash's speed throughout the whole series.
It makes no sense.
Even when he was at his slowest, he was doing things that was beyond his top speed. When he was faster, he was doing things that he should have been able to do with ease. Don't even get me started about that whole Killer Frost thing, escaping that building when she only had a 3-second head start on him. And he went straight out the building when she probably didn't even make it down the staircase yet. But that's besides the point. Once again, we digress. Moving along now. I would love to know what happened to the cameras that was in Star Labs. Like I said, they still had a very valid alibi, and the cameras for Star Labs are working. I know his building has a camera, as well as, you know, the security system in his apartment. All this stuff has to be reported to the police because they have to, you know, do all that good stuff. My biggest question is, what the heck happened to all that? Like, why didn't Cisco be like, okay, yeah, we can definitely do this.
Yeah, I agree.
And use it to our advantage. And it was just like, yo.
And they had like how many days during all these trials, like, and never came into their mind, oh shit, we have video evidence that Barry was here during the murder. Let's use it. Nah, it's okay. The justice system is gonna.
This is what got me tight. Out of all the, like, was it Dibney? Then he was like, oh, you're gonna plant evidence and, you know, to free Barry. I'm like, now you want to take the moral high ground when the whole purpose of your character, the reason why he got fired from the police department was because you planted evidence. And like, oh, I get it. Oh, it ruined my life. I'm like, all right, if you didn't want Joe to do it, you could have just like planted evidence, because, you know, Dibney, he could stretch, so he could have like put something in the apartment, or, you know, remove something from the apartment without actually really being there. And then no one would have knew the wiser, no fingerprints, nothing. But now I'm going to take the moral high ground when the last several episodes you have been doing very questionable things. Don't even get me started about how you stole money from a stripper in the strip club. But that's, once again, besides the point, and I digress. So, I believe that's all we have for today. Like I said, if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, my boy Marlon here. You know, we're going to have a schedule. We're going to be dropping a Dragon Ball Super episode as well. I'm going to have my colored friend Dwight. He's a person of color. That's not a very racial term. If you feel sensitive about it, oh well. And we will, like I said, holla at you later. So we off this.
Laters.